Hello, this is your girl Pam with Pam for Christ. I wanted to share a short story, but at the same time, still give like a small example. But someone had shared with me the story about the farmer and his son. Now, from what I can gather from the story, um, the farmer had a horse, and the horse he didn't want to put the horse down. He didn't want to kill the horse or whatever. So he went ahead and let the horse go free. Okay. Within letting the horse go free, the horse ended up coming back 2 days later. All vibrant, rejuvenated, and 12 other horses had followed him back home. So now they got like this whole entire farm with the wild horses. So his son was getting ready to train the horses. And when his son went out there to train the horses or whatever, he ended up falling off one of the horses and broke his leg. Okay, so you got the the neighbors, the villagers, and all the other people or whatever coming forward, saying, what's such bad luck or whatever, blah blah blah, we feel sorry for you, this and that, you know how they go. And so he was like, okay, well, who knows, we should see, because he wasn't one of the ones where the farmer where he, I guess you could say, he dug into everything other people said. He was more optimistic, and he was more he had a lot of faith. So um every time something happened, of course, you always got people that's gonna come in your ear, friends, family members, whoever, coming and talking and telling you, how you should feel or what you should do and all that stuff, whatever. Just like just like Job and his friends and stuff like that. They want to tell you, who you supposed to be mad at, who you need to be, praising and what you think you should be doing, and this is the reason why blah 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 going on. But they don't know. My thing is, a lot of times God, does things. He does it for a reason, but we don't know. And a lot of times we like to try to question God. Okay, well, God, why this, why that? God looking further down the road. We sitting here looking in front of us. We right there. God looking back there. God looking up here. God looking like at what the things that can happen, chain reaction from something that may happen or from a stupid decision that you made. You know what I'm saying? I know He's a faithful and He's a loving God, and He gives second chances and stuff like that. But when He sees something that's going to happen and it's going to affect you in a way that you're not going to be able to get over, then God tends to block things, and I like that because He's blocked a lot of stuff in my life, and I'm quite sure He's blocked a lot of stuff in your life too. But what I also like about the fact with the farmer was when the son broke his leg, a few days later, a war broke out. So now, with the war breaking out, they had to draft young men. And back then, of course, they drafted young men, and there was nothing you can do about it. If they were well-bodied and able, they drafted them. You can't just say, "No, I don't want my son to go." Okay, you're gonna get hanged and killed, and your whole family is gonna get killed too because you decide that you want to, assert authority. No, it don't work like that. So what ended up happening in the story was the emperor came around, and the emperor's men, and they ended up recruiting and drafting the villagers of where the man, the farmer, was living. And upon doing that, his son leg healed, but at the same time, his son still had like a little limp. The farmer had to farm his land by himself because usually it was him and the son that was doing everything, but he had to do it by himself, in which it didn't matter. But the villager was coming to him and was saying, "Oh, your son leg broke, and now you got to do all this by yourself or whatever, blah blah blah." And the man was still optimistic. He was like, "Well, okay, you saying all that, but who knows what's gonna happen? We'll see." And the farmer just kept saying it, and I was like, "Okay, yes, that's the attitude to have, yes." Okay, so your sons that got drafted into the war. My son out here still helping me in the field. He got a limp. He broke his leg, but at the same time, him breaking his leg, it stopped him from going to the war, right? Okay. So what ended up happening was what? All the villagers' sons died. Oh, okay. So y'all children got killed. Now, because y'all children got killed, y'all don't have anybody that's going to help you in your field. See, that'll preach right there, but we ain't gonna get into that. But you don't have anybody to help you in your field. So now with the farmer and his son being well-bodied and able, guess what? Now y'all having to hire them to do the work. So you see how the enemy do? The enemy come up to you saying A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and now the enemy got to pay you? Okay, that'll preach right there too, but we ain't gonna get into that. Now, my thing, my thing is, I can say, even when I first heard that story, I was like, you know what? I said, that's why God did what he did. It's like, I'm not upset about like what happened. I was at first, but then it's like after she had told me this story. This was a long time ago. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm just not sharing this. But when she told me that story, I was like, wow, that's why God did what he did. Now I think I told you guys, it may be on this channel, it may be on one of my other channels, guys. I got 5 channels, so it's in the description. Go check out the channels. But I when I was 16, I dislocated my knee. It was a freak accident. I was just walking across my sister's floor. I was just walking across. I got up out the couch, off the couch. I went to the kitchen and came from the kitchen, went back to the living room, and then I was getting ready to walk down the hall. And while walking, my knee dislocated. It's like one part of my leg went this way, the other part went the opposite way, and I fell down. And I'm saying to myself, like, wow, just by walking, it was so painful. It was so ridiculous painful. Oh my God. What I ended up having a lot of fluid built up in my leg. It was my left leg, and my knee looked like the size of my hip. It was huge, and what ended up happening, after that, yes, my knee got better, my leg got better, but at the same time, it still affects me now. But like now, I can't squat, at all. Oh my goodness, it's horrible. It's a certain way I have to, make sure I move my leg so that it won't dislocate, because it still has the tendency to do it now, but it's like I know, I guess you could say, like, how to maneuver, or I usually pop my knee maybe 5 times a day, and that sort of helps it. But sometimes when you go through stuff like that, you end up with a limp, just like the farmer's son, or you end up with a scar or something that reminds you of what happened. But at the same time, I feel that God did that to remind you of how He saved your life, because I had took I guess y'all call it the ASVAB, the test where you take to go to the military. So that was, oh my God, that was 20 something years ago. But I had taken the test, passed all that or whatever. I'm talking about, like, that test was no problem. The guy that had actually gave us the test, he came back after we took the test. He came back a few days later, and he was like, yeah, you made the top score. So he was like, I'm definitely gonna, recruit you. And I'm like, yeah, I want to go to the military, blah blah blah. My sister had just joined the army, so I'm like, okay, I want to go. I'm trying to follow in her footsteps or whatever. But when they came back to do the actually, I took the test. He came back a few days later. He said he was gonna recruit me. They were actually supposed to have come back a week after that to do the physical exam. I already knew I was good to go because I was a tomboy. I'm talking about, I used to lift weights. I'm talking about play sports, and I used to run. I used to do a whole bunch of stuff or whatever. So my thing is, I was physically fit at that time. And then, like I said, it was coming back that week later. But what ended up happening was, actually, they said that it was some kind of program that they had where, because we had the National Guard Armory that was like around the corner from the school. And since I was 16, I was in the 10th grade. And so for the 11th and 12th grade, I was going to join ROTC, and I was going to do basic training. I was going to go ahead and, like, literally for the Army, get all of that out of the way, because it was a special program that he was going to have me in. That way, when I went through the summertime, during my 11th grade, and then after I graduated in the 12th grade, I forgot what rank he said I was going to have when I got in or whatever, because I was going to sort of skip by a lot of stuff, because I was going to go ahead and do it for the next 2 years. But I was like, okay, that sounds good, blah blah blah. We didn't talk about all that or whatever. But within that week, when they were supposed to have come back to do the physical training part at the National Guard Armory, that's when the accident happened with my knee. And like I said, I didn't understand what happened at the time, what was going on, blah, blah, blah. And, even the guy was like, wow, I can't believe that happened, the recruiter. And he was like, are you going to have surgery? What did the doctor say? Because he really wanted to get me in there, And my mom was like, no, you're not going to be able to go, especially not with your knee like that, because she knew what the doctor, I didn't know what the doctor said, but, she knew what the doctor was talking about or whatever. And, mama didn't want to risk it, and even if I did go, she knew that it would have been a huge risk as far as, like, the injury coming back, torn ligaments and all that or whatever. And so I was like, okay, so my opportunity had literally passed. Now, mind you, for the next 2 years while I was in school, my knee kept bothering me. So as far as, like, me, still being able to play sports and stuff like that, like I had been doing, that was out the question. It was 100% out the question. So I'm like, okay, but like I said, God knew what was up. See, my thing is, what if I had went to the military and I would have gotten killed? See, God saw that. I didn't see it, but God saw that. All I know is I was in pain. I was in a lot of pain, a lot of agony. because of the accident, the freak accident, you know, because it wasn't like I was in a fight or somebody pushed me, I fell off something. I was walking across the floor. Walking. Walking. So, like I said, when I thought about that, I was like, okay, I said, God, you did that. I said, so you could save my life. I said, because I could have died. I could have been one of those people, you know, that didn't make it, you know, over there. So I am grateful to God that, you know, that freak accident happened. And like I said, a lot of times we try to question God about what he do and why he doing this, why he doing that. And, you know, sometimes the pain that we have to endure is for our good. You know, it is for the future. You know, it is for us to learn a lesson. And it is to save our life. But we may not know that, you know, at the time when it's happening. But God knows that. But I just wanted to share that story with you guys. And I did like the story with the farm and stuff like that. But, you know, the farm and the farmer's son. But, you know, like I said, you may be able to have a comparison like that as well for something that has happened to you, just like, you know, it happened to me. So I do feel that God has saved my life, you know, for future references. And I was 16 talking about going to the, you know, like I said, basic training and, you know, getting everything out the way or whatever. And then as soon as I graduated high school, honey, I was going to go ahead and go to the army. I was going to be gone up out of here. But like I said, God knew best. And I just thank God for that, you know, because like I said, I really do believe that he saved my life. But like, share, and subscribe. I love you guys for watching. Thanks for stopping by, and peace.